Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions MC and producer. With me today is the goddess of DC and queen of the shameless plug herself, the one and only Rayceen Pendarvis. Welcome, Rayceen.
Bam! Greetings and salutations, all.
Yes, today we have some fabulous special guests with us today, and I'm so excited that we have them joining the Team Racing YouTube channel. Please welcome Greg Mathis Jr. and Elliott Cooper.
What's
Welcome,
up,
welcome,
everybody?
welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
And
Thank you
greetings
so
and
much for being
salutations from us
here.
as well.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. How are you two doing today?
I can't complain. It's been, all good things. Thank
All
God.
good things. We love that. We love that. Well, of course, we have here two of the stars from Mathis Family Matters, which I've been watching every single week.
Thank you.
My boyfriend got me into it, and he got into it because he saw both of you in like a clip on Instagram or something. And so that's been our show together to watch and to keep up. It's so fun and it's so great to see, the family together and really putting your lives out there for us. So the way how we like to kick things off here is just to have our guests introduce themselves to our audience and talk a little bit about their background and experience. So I'll start with you, Greg, then you go, Elliott.
Yeah, so I'm Greg Mathis Jr., junior to Judge Mathis, as a lot of you may know. But you're getting to know us too. As you mentioned when you first kicked off, we just started off our family reality show, Mathis Family Matters, which my dad's been on TV for 25 years, but it's all of ours first kind of opportunity and his first chance kind of showing his whole life to the world. So it's been a fun ride. Before that, though, I lived in Washington, D.C. for about a decade working in politics in various roles and at various levels. And now I'm out in Los Angeles trying it out here for a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I like that head bob.
I'm Elliott Cooper. I hail from South Carolina. I've lived in DC for about 10 years. My background's in engineering, so I'm not really a TV guy, but I do enjoy Greg and his family, and I'm just excited that everybody in the world gets to see them too.
Oh, well, we're excited to see it as well.
And I keep looking down there, but it's not what you think. It's my dog who's trying to jump up. If you watch the last episode,
they get ready to take the show over, baby. They get ready to become the stars, honey. I'm just waiting them to have their own show, honey, because those stars have so much personality.
In the most recent episode, I saw the one that was trying to bite Amir's nuts.
Well, and that's what he's trying to do again right now. He's looking down, like, you gotta be careful.
We love it. We love it. Well, we're so glad to have you both here. Actually, as a matter of fact, I want to know, how did you two first meet and got started together in this relationship?
So we met on Valentine's Day, actually, that's a long time now. What was that?
Especially in gay life, in gay terms,
You said what?
Especially in gay life, you got to double the years.
I know. So this would have been 2016. Both of us were, I'll say, single-ish on Valentine's Day. And we ended up going out with a group of friends that were kind of all not with their significant others or single. And we hit it off. Yeah, we hit it off. We ended up going back to my place, the whole group, and having drinks. And then it ended up just being Elliott and I, and we talked all night. And we really have spent almost every single day together since then.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? I love the fact that you two have put it all out there, like bam, right from day one, the first episode of this show. Everybody, my Twitter was blowing up.
Oh yeah,
day one. The Twitter, I was like, what is going on? I said, what's Judge Mathis? I said, what's going on? I said, Judge Mathis, he's rallying around the gays, and I just thought it was so wonderful the way this, it was so beautiful the way it was. When you come out, you never know how it's going to be, the reaction,
received,
with people, but it was so positive and so loving, and it was all this stuff. So I said, child, I'm not behind. Let me watch this show. Let me get into this. So I ended up watching that episode like 4 times because I was just so it was just so beautiful to see how your dad was just sitting there cool, laid back. Y'all gay? You know, and it was just so wonderful in a conversation. And then when he paused, and how touching that was for a dad, because he was in the moment of what it is to be a Black man, the struggles that we go through. I felt all of that as he was feeling for you and saying, you can't be your true, authentic self.
Yep.
And with the fear of people not accepting you. And it was such a touching moment, and it was such a beautiful moment. And, you know, and I think a lot of times we don't see that enough as LGBTQIA.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that loving, wonderful father who is so accepting, which some of us see, but on a national level, how affirming that was for so many people to see that and to know that. Did you think it was going to blow up like YouTube was going to blow up like that?
So it's funny because I did not think it was going to blow up like that. I knew it was going to have an impact because just being able to showcase our lives on TV is something that we don't see. Something that I know I didn't see growing up is a healthy Black relationship that didn't fit a stereotype on television. So I knew that was going to have an impact, but I took for granted, quite frankly, the relationship I have with my dad and my family, because they've known I was out since I was 18. My uncle, who has passed away, but was my dad's best friend, was gay. And so my dad thinks he knows all the lingo. He thinks he's so cool. All his terms.
Your dad is cool. He is so cool. He is
right.
So cool. He is so cool. I mean, you know, and it showed your dad in another side. You know, I loved your dad from day one because he tells it like a TI is, baby. He be lighting it up in the courtroom. Exactly. But to see him really just like real, and your mother is beautiful. And your mother I was looking at her, I said, that mother got 4 children and got body like that. I said, mother got it together.
Ain't she though?
I love it. But what you just said is so important, because you said, you know, you've been out for a minute, but there's for a lot of LGBTQ people, being out or coming out is a thing that happens like right throughout your life. So even though you're out to your family already and they already know, especially being the son of someone in, you know, the public eye, there's always like other levels to coming out, you know, other levels of sharing your life. When did you decide that you felt comfortable enough to come out in a public way? Because we saw it on the episode when both of you, Greg and Elliott, you made that video. Did you decide that you were going to do it when you knew that you were going to be a part of the show, or at another point? What was behind that decision?
I mean, I would say both of us had started to, like, you know, everybody has their journey.
Yeah.
Both of us had started to come out of that shell a little bit, you know, to maybe really close friends or certain people, because we had been together for so long. It was really stupid to kind of hide that. But I know that the show definitely expedited that process for me, at least. And we had a conversation when we knew that we were going to have to do this show about how we were going to handle it. I mean, there was a really real point where we were like, are we going to be just open about this relationship, or are we going to have Elliott as a friend of the show and everybody's asking who this Elliott person is?
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. And on top of that, like, it was, at least for me, it was the show kind of catapulted the importance of representation, I think, of that video. So like for us, like just like Greg's describing, like we were getting to that point of being more comfortable in our skin, and his family definitely promoted that, like, since I've been in a relationship with him, which made me even more comfortable with myself. And when they talked about the show and talked about everything with the, you know, potential of doing that video, because that was real when we were discussing, like, hey, I was like, I might just stay back, like, you know, do this advocacy, keep, you know, I don't know if that's me. Like, I'm not trying to make it that type of thing. And just like what I'm saying right now is me, right? And I realized that it was a lot bigger than me, especially at this scale and on this platform. And if we can use that, and if that video could help anybody, like save a life, you know, make somebody feel as though they're not alone or they are loved, I think that's the worthwhile value of it.
And you asked that question about, like, when did we get to that point of being comfortable? I think even for me, it's still a work in progress of reminding myself that, you know, I am valuable. I do have worth, and I can't let what other people say chip away at that. And I think that's for all of us in the community. We got to remember that, because if you're seeking validation from other people, I mean, I live today, every single day, there's negative comments about what someone has to say, or why is he making, why are they making such a big deal about coming out? They're just doing it for attention or storyline. I'm like, us living our lives is not for attention. It's not for a storyline. It's, we are.
But it's so important on so many levels. I look at what there was I seen, and it was so subtle for me, but it was so beautiful, coming from an era that I come from, where that was nothing. That was, black, gay couples. What? We wasn't having, but to see that now, and they're the nuances that the two of you share. The way Elliott looks at you, and the nuances, the way he looks at you, and you see it in the connection of the eyes that you connect with his soul. And you'll do subtle things with like a head turn. And it's so beautiful, and it's so sincere, and it's so affirming to see Black gay love and its beautiful essence in the form of I love you. And it's not about anything else but the love that we share. And that's so important. It's so, so important, and it comes across, and I'm an advocate, because I know what it is to love and to be loved, and to know that we're worthy of love. And to see that, I just applaud you too. And I wish, many years of together. May you grow old and retire in Shady Pines together, and rock in the rocking chair together. I want that is my prayer and my wish for the two of you.
Amen.
But
I
Elliott,
that prayer, and thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're more than welcome. But Elliott, I want to say to you, what is it has been a Southern boy, and you know how the South can be, honey, because sometimes they can be, Aunt Mimi and them could be a little critical, and me, Mom, but have you had any pushback from folks from the South?
I've been questioned from folks from the South, like, a lot of them, I think, have this picture esque of, being from the South, you're supposed to be married, have kids, all this, but what I've received more so than anything is that sense of wanting me to be happy and wanting that acceptance. And so where I can stand is where you respect me and, the love I have for Greg and the love of our relationship. And then if you have that, then I'm fine. Like, I'm not trying to change, somebody's personality or change the South or change that culture. I just want to make sure that they understand that just as much as heterosexual may kiss each other, that I want them to be just as comfortable when Greg and I do it, or if we were holding hands or anything of that sort. So it's not like I'm trying to, not trying to change anything, just trying to make it like it is right now with everybody else. So
awesome.
I haven't heard nothing crazy,
And that's a good thing. I think you guys are breaking ground on so many levels, because one, we know that television is when we look at TV shows, it's scripted. Reality show is scripted to some degree, but the truth is you cannot fake the authenticity. The pure
authenticity.
Thank you. The pure essence.
I'm not going to try and say it.
I'm not. I better get that up. But you cannot fake pure love and the realness. And when people see that, and they see that in the dynamics that the two of you have and what you share, and those who know love and understand love and see it in the subtle ways that you two react, it is tearing down walls like no tomorrow, and it's showing people that our love is just as equal to your love.
Certainly. Elliott, tell me, what was it like knowing that you were going into this family, you know, your first time having to be with this family, because it's a lot of people, a lot of different personalities, and so much going on. It's great to see how you interact with the family. And Greg, it's also great to see sometimes how you interact, like at the camping when Elliott had to do all the cooking. So talk to me about getting into that Mathis family dynamic.
Well, the Mathis family is a dynamic all in its own, and they all have their own personalities. One thing about me is what I love is, you know, I'm pretty meek, where I'm a listener. I'm a person that, you know, I'll engage with. And one thing I love about their family, they'll bring you in. You can stand there if you want to. They're going to drag you right into the conversation or want your opinion. And, you know, that's validating. And so on top of just having their personalities and seeing them, I don't know how to describe it, like y'all really live your truths. I know we're talking like in that sense, but like whatever is on their mind, they're going to say that. Like, so I have learned so much in just being inserted in the family that, you know, it helps me feel a lot more comfortable in my own opinions of things that I may want to say or want to do. Now, what you see on TV is me making a lot of facial expressions, because sometimes they talk so fast, man, I can't even keep up. I'm just like, all right, well, you know what this face means. And that's all.
Oh, let me ask you too, what do you miss about DC? What are some of your favorite spots? Because, you know, I'm born and bred DC, to do or die. So what you miss about being here?
I would say the people first. I mean, LA I like the people out here, but it's not the same flavor. It's, you know, DC is chocolate city, chocolate chip city, some might say today, but you don't get that in LA. It's diverse in a lot of ways, but it's not as many of people that look like us in LA. So that can be tough at times. You're not walking.
You got to jump on over to Oakland for the gay scene, honey. The black gay scene. Then you got to go over to Oakland, honey.
Because you're not walking up into stands or, you know, or wherever you might want to hang out on the weekend.
Yeah. So I definitely miss stands.
Has it been an adjustment? How's the adjustment being out in LA as opposed to DC? Did it take long to adjust, or was it just like, okay, we're ready to do this, we're ready to get going?
Well, he's
right. I lived here before, so I'm answer this one
so
first.
For me, it was not easy to adjust. Like, I'll admit, like, it is one of those things where you're in a new city and it's, you know, it's spontaneous. You can kind of find out new things, but with us doing the show and with, you know, everything else that we were kind of dealing with as far as moving from DC in that term to here, like, we were just really on a schedule. Like, it was impossible to enjoy, I guess, in the spontaneity of it, you know, LA. But I'll admit, after being here for so long, I really love the sense of self-care. It gives you kind of that, you know, that reflection time, that time to kind of relax and actually appreciate a lot of things. But I think that's the most right now. Like, I'm not in love with it, but I do like it a lot more than I did when I first got here.
Because it can be a real slow pace out here. And I think that was probably the biggest adjustment for him, is that, like, in DC, I mean, you could hit 3, 4, 5 different spots in one night, just boom, 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 because everything is so close.
Yes.
LA, everything is spread out. So
Lord.
If you go someplace, you go into that place and you stand for the night, most likely, see a group of friends, if any friends, and it's just a whole different type of dynamic from DC, where you can see almost your entire friend group in one weekend, every single weekend, because it's so close.
Yes.
I mean,
and I fully connect with that.
That's
what I was gonna say. I connect with that a whole lot because I'm from DC as well. And I'm out here now in California. My boyfriend lives in California, so spending a lot of time out here and having to adjust. So watching the show, that when I saw that conversation come up, like, we talked about that as well, because that was something that, you know, I can definitely connect to, and, you know, feeling the different paces of the different places, the different paces.
It is nice sometimes because you can just relax and, you know,
yes.
a lot of downtime, but then sometimes it's just too much downtime.
Right.
And you're like, what can we do?
You know what I really love about the show and watching it out, and I when Grandma and Grandpa came on, I said, I said, yes, honey. But I love it because it's so important that we show that we show you know, that we got supportive grandparents and they love us and they there for us. And I love that. But what I applaud was the honesty about your sister sharing her bout with depression.
Yeah.
And talking about it being a mental illness, and was very real and very honest and her truth and standing in it. Because so many times people think with depression, oh girl, you be fine, child. Just you pray it away, child. You be all right, girl. Go on, see your pastor, oh girl. You be fine. You ain't depressed, oh girl. You better go on and shake that. Exactly. But people don't understand the importance of talking about it and how it breaks stigma and how it helps those who are in it understand that they're not alone, and especially with us as people of color, because we come from all this stuff that we have. Girl, don't you tell nobody you going through that, chair. You ain't depressed, girl.
Exactly.
And don't you talk about therapy, oh girl, you ain't nothing wrong with you, child, girl, you fine. But
there's a lot of power in sharing those stories, and really being open and honest. Yeah.
Like you said, you can get labeled by people who still don't understand. You could be labeled crazy. People, people might think certain things about you, and that's just, I applaud her for having that courage, just like Elliott and I had to go through, to really, her mission is to destigmatize mental illness and let people know that it's okay. Yeah. We got to talk about what we're going through, or otherwise we may not make it through.
And it's important, especially with Black women, especially with Black women. And it's so many Black women suffer because they've taught to be strong. Oh, girl, you got to be strong. You're a strong Black woman, child. You got to take care of the kids. You got to fight on the front line. You got to go to work. You got to be all this. You got to break the glass ceiling. You got to be Superwoman.
Yep.
But
that's what she says. The best way to be strong is take care of yourself.
Right.
You got to take care of self-care, and your sister stepping back, coming home. All y'all coming home. I love that whole come on home.
Yep.
And to see that, that, because that's what I grew up, being at home, family being. I got 5 brothers, and we're close. And the family dynamics with mamas and their boys, and mamas and their girls, and daddies and their girls, and that family is so important, and we need to see that. And it's so important when we see that, because it's to be celebrated.
And I think that's one of my favorite parts about us being able to do the show, is that, like, I'm not saying we're a perfect family. We got our stuff going on too, but the point is we stick together, we talk about it, we work through it. Yeah. We make sure we check in on each other, make sure everybody's doing okay. And it's not that fighting, it's not that throwing stuff at each other. And that one narrative that I think you see a lot of when it comes to Black families on TV, that it's got to be conflict. It's like, no, we sit there, we talk about it, we love on each other. We got to get people together every now and then. Hence my younger brother Amir, we still working on a little bit, but do it all.
I've got to say, when that last episode came and Amir said he and his girlfriend had broken up, I lost it. I was like, this is why they said, don't introduce us. Don't do it.
Don't bring her around.
You
felt my face. I didn't even have the energy to say I told you so. I was just like, oh. Okay.
Oh,
and she was so nice. She was in the kitchen cleaning, washing dishes, putting food in the tray. I said, girl, you ain't gonna be there long.
Very nice woman. Very nice.
Lovely. So tell me, both of you, after a whole season of filming, and now that it is airing, what have you learned? And are you looking forward to getting back into it for another round, for a second season?
What have I learned? So I have learned, and this goes back to what we talked about before, just how things that I take for granted can really help other people. I mean, like I said, like my relationship with my dad, I knew it was special, but didn't realize just how special it was until that scene with us went viral and really helped so many people. I think, it really drove home that we have an opportunity to help people by just being ourselves and showing something different on television, because people a lot of times can mimic and reflect what they see. And so if you constantly seeing drama, conflict, fighting on TV with people that look like us, then that's what you're going to do. And so I'm learning more and more that we have a real special opportunity to change that narrative. And it does lead me to the next question, which I can't wait to continue that in a season 2.
Beautiful.
Man,
I'm down for it. I'm here. I'm hooked, honey. Y'all got me hooked, baby. So I'm down for it. I'm in for all 10. And we'll see. Not just 2. We claiming 10 seasons or more.
Hey man, I'll take it.
We're gonna claim it.
Elliott, what
I don't
about
know though.
you?
Y'all might be bored of us after 4 seasons. We're gonna have to switch it up. I'm so sick of them dogs. they always doing the same thing.
I'm telling you now, y'all gonna have a whole episode with the 2 dogs, baby. The whole
they're stars. They're stars.
They get that, you know, them dogs are so. Oh my God, I just laugh every time I see them 2 dogs. I mean, and it's just wonderful.
Elliott, what about you? What have you learned?
From this season, I cook a lot. No, I'm joking.
We love a man that cooks. We love a man that cooks. Listen.
No, I mean, I'm learning to be more comfortable. I mean, if you can tell through the season, like I was, you know, kind of quiet, kind of shy. I still am in my own way, but I'm learning to have a voice. And then, you know, hopefully that voice can grow to help and, you know, kind of be somewhat of a, I don't know, an example for someone else. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, because I'm still working through my nervousness, you know, and then living in my truth, like really living in it, you know? Yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing for me right now is, you know, grasping it and kind of taking it by the horn and kind of walking with it right now.
Certainly. Well, I want to say thank you to both of you for, you know, opening up and sharing your stories and really, really making an impact. The reason why, you know, those clips went viral and stuff like that was because it was making an impact. And me as a gay person, Black, Jamaican, I know the relationship I have with my father, especially when it comes to me being gay. And it's certainly not what you have, Greg, with your father. And so, you know, to see something like that does make an impact on viewers and on people to see that. And hopefully, you know, causes a change in some people to kind of see how they can navigate something like that, how they can navigate those relationships and, you know, really make it worthwhile. So thank you both for sharing your lives with us. And thank you for sharing all the fun that you're having on this show and giving us, you know, a different kind of reality TV that we can watch, and that's just wholesome and great to be a part of. So thank you so much for that. When can people watch the show, and how can they follow you and keep up with everything that's going on with Greg and Elliott?
So Mathis Family Matters is on 10 p.m. 9 Central every Sunday on E! And you can follow me. All my social media handles are the same. Greg Mathis Jr. Jr. is spelled JR, just the JR part.
Yeah, you can find me at Elliott_Cooper, COOPR. I'm on Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you so much. And thank you, of course, for being here with us today. It is such a pleasure. Everyone, make sure that you keep up with Mathis Family Matters every single Sunday, and make sure that you follow Greg and Elliott. And we'll have those links in the description below. Thank you all so much. Thank you. To our viewers, please follow Team Rayceen Productions at Team Rayceen on all forms of social media. Click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And of course, while you're there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.